Sure.
So per calculation, 1 liter can spray 1 acre.
Weed control is very important when it comes to maize farming because it can compete with your maize plant in terms of nutrients, water, and sunlight. It can also affect the quality of the maize because weed can serve as a host for pests and disease. That is why it's very important to control weeds when it comes to maize farming. Today's discussion, we'll be having it with the CEO of Osborg Agric Enterprise, Mr. Boachi Yadom. Mr. Boachi, welcome to today's interview.
Thank you, Na.
When it comes to maize farming, when you say weed control, what is weed control?
Weed control, as you said in your introduction, weeds are also pests.
Okay.
That can affect the maize. So weed control is very important. But weed control in general, I can say it's a method of removing the nuisance or unwanted grasses.
Okay.
Or herbs that have a close proximity with the plant.
Okay. Okay. So do we have any chemicals or how do we control it?
Yes, weed control, we have 2 methods. We have cultural control and then mechanical control or chemical control.
Okay.
When you talk of cultural control, it's the method of using hose and carrots to weed under the maize when the weeds grew up so that it cannot compete with the maize. That is a cultural control.
Okay.
And because of commercial farming and the nature of farming that we are doing, it becomes very tedious to use carrots and hoe. So this time too, we have chemical control that we can use chemicals to control the weeds.
Okay.
And this type of chemicals, they call it herbicides.
Okay.
In general, they are herbicides. Herbicides means a chemicals that control or kill herbs or plants. That's the herbicides. So in herbicides, we also have other categories or classification.
Okay. So what are the categories?
Yes, in first classification or categories, we have pre-emergence herbicides and post-emergence herbicides.
Okay, please take your time. Kindly explain the pre-emergence and the post for us.
Pre-emergence herbicides are herbicides that are used. When you say pre means before.
Okay.
When you plow the land, like this one, you see the land is plowed. So we have a chemical that you spray on this field.
Okay.
So that the seed of the weed that will germinate to become weed or herbs.
Okay.
The chemical will kill the seed so that the weeds or the herbs will not come. That is the pre-emergence herbicides. Yes, we use that one. And example is we have one thing called alligator. The active ingredient is butacro.
Okay.
But some farmers call it a stump, or you can talk of alligator. That is one we use as a pre-emergence. So it's a pre-emergence herbicide.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And then what of the
and the post-emergence herbicide is the one after you sow the maize, 2 weeks after germination. When the maize starts germinating, the weeds too will also start germinating.
Okay, so like I said in the previous video, we have a land for coconut farming available, but it's limited. So you call me, then I'll take you through the process. Okay. So now with the pre, when do you do the spraying before you do the planting of the maize?
Yes, immediate after plowing, you do the spraying. 2-3 days, then you plant.
You plant. Okay.
Yes.
Please let's continue with the post.
Yes, for the post-emergence herbicides,
okay,
as I said, you spray after the maize has been germinated and the seed has also germinated, so that the maize cannot compete with the weeds or herbs in terms of nutrients or in terms of sunshine or in terms of water.
Okay.
Yes, that is the one we use to spray when the maize has been after germination.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know in the application of fertilizer, we are supposed to also apply fertilizer 2 weeks after germination. So at what point do we also control apply the weedicide? Because since there is 2 weeks, is it the same day or different days?
It's better you apply the herbicides before you apply the fertilizer. The selective herbicide, yeah, because when you apply the fertilizer, as I said, it's a nutrient.
Okay.
And the herbs are going to compete with the maize. But before then, I made mention of post-emergence herbicides that I've already explained. But for the post-emergent herbicides too can be grouped into selective and non-selective.
Okay.
Yes, and also it can be grouped into contact and systemic herbicides. We have a lot of classification.
Wow.
But for the sake of our maize farming, let's concentrate on the selective and non-selective herbicides.
Okay.
When you talk of non-selective herbicide, non-selective herbicide are what we call the total weedicide. It's a glyphosate, and it kills all type of weeds like this one. This is glyphosate.
Okay.
For this one, anytime you see, most of the times the non-selective herbicides, it comes in the yellow bottle and the red cork.
The non-selective.
Non-selective.
Okay, but this
it can come into a different level, but most of them, yes. And the active ingredient is glyphosate.
Sure.
But this one, the company is from Singapore. It's an Indian company, and their product is called glyphosate.
Okay.
Yes, but the active ingredient for non-selective herbicide is called glyphosate.
Okay.
For that one, when you spray, it's non-selective because it will kill any weeds,
anything on the land,
anything on the land,
including the plants.
including the plant. That is
Okay.
non-selective one.
Okay.
And for the non-selective too, we have contact and post-emergence. The contact one is the active ingredient is called paraquat.
Okay.
For that one, when you spray, it's instant killer. By 2 or 3 days, it will kill all the weeds. It kills the leaves, but it cannot kill the stem or the bulbs.
Sure.
That is the contact. But the systemic herbicide, which is this one, it will kill the leaves, the stems, and the root. But it will take about 1 week.
Okay.
Yes, that is the contact and pre-emergence for the non-selective.
Okay.
But when we come to selective herbicides, where our concentration will be because of the maize farming. For the selective weedicide, they call it selective weedicide because it has been in such a way that when you apply this herbicides, the selective, we have selective for maize, selective for vegetables and other crops.
Okay.
Even cowpea and soya beans, we have selective for them for that. But for this one, we are concentrating on a selective herbicide for maize.
So that means that the selective that you can use for let's say any vegetables or soya bean or anything, you can't use it for maize.
No.
Okay, so that means this particular one is designed for maize.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's a selective for maize because it has been programmed in such a way that when you see any crop apart from maize,
it will destroy
it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Let's continue.
So any crop apart from maize will be destroyed. That is why they call it selective herbicide or selective weedicide. It will kill the unwanted or nuisance grass or plant that you don't want and leave the one which is the maize that you want.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the maize, the selective for maize, do you also have types of it?
Yes, we have types of it. The first type is called atrazine.
Okay.
Atrazine, it can be in the powder or it can be in the liquid form. This is the atrazine. And this one, the active ingredient is atrazine.
Okay.
It's a powder one. But this atrazine, you see, in weeds or herbs in the maize farming, we have types of herbs or leaves. You have broad leaves. We have grasses. You see, this is the broad leaves.
Okay.
If you see this type of weeds under your maize, the atrazine can kill this broad leaves.
Okay.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
And the second one is 2,4-D. The second type of weedicide is called herbicide for maize selective is called 2,4-D. This one.
Okay.
Yes, 2,4-D. This one is an extra D because of the company. Some is a backing. It comes a lot of name depending on the company we import it. This one is a 2,4-D.
Okay.
This one too is a liquid form, and this one too can kill the broadleaves.
Okay.
And small trees. Yes, that 2,4-D. That is the work of the 2,4-D.
Okay.
It can also kill the broadleaves and the trees, small trees under the maize.
Okay, so that means that if you're having a maize farm and then you see this type of weed, you are supposed to use either the 2,4-D
atrazine or atrazine.
Okay.
This is also one type of the 2,4-D.
Okay.
And the next one is called nicosophron. Nicosophron. This one is nicobes.
Okay.
Nicosophron to kill the grasses. It can kill the leaves and grasses,
okay.
but not all weeds. You see, we have a lot of different types of weeds and herbs.
Depending on the location.
Depending on the location.
Okay.
And this one too can kill the grasses under the maize.
Okay, I've seen Abrora. Is it local made?
The importer is a WAF Agro. Is a local importer.
Okay.
So the active ingredient, as you say, the nicobes. The active ingredient is nicosophron.
Okay.
So have you seen nicobes? You can see nicokin. You can see nico what? Nico. That is the nicosophron family. That one to kill the grasses under the maize, but cannot control the broadleaf properly. It can also kill the grass and broadleaves, but the main one is the grasses. Can kill the grasses fast. And the third one, which is very important, this chemical came to Ghana just last year from a company called ETG.
Okay.
ETG Inputs.
Okay.
Yes, and the chemical is from Singapore. This is what I used last year, all of my maize.
Okay.
And this one is a trichrin.
Okay.
You see the combination. This one is the combination of atrazine, nicosophron, menstruum, and intent materials. Meaning that any type of wheat under the maize, this chemical can control.
Okay.
You see, for the atrazine, if you want to use atrazine, unless you combine maybe atrazine with the nicosophron before it can kill the broadleaves and the grasses and other one, or 2,4-D plus atrazine, or 2,4-D plus nicosophron. But this one, the chemical has been, they say that they have it's a combination of more than four active active ingredients.
Okay.
So when you use it once, it will kill any type of weeds under the maize.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is what we are using now since last year coming, and it's a very good product. It's from Singapore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because it's from Singapore, the quality is high, and also the price is somehow higher than the other 2,4-D and
Existing
atrazine.
ones.
Yeah, existing one, because they perform just one duty, and this one perform about 4 duties.
Oh, okay.
So the tracking is a very good chemical for good selective herbicides for maize. Now,
Okay,
as I'm speaking
now if you are to apply this thing on an acre, what's the quantity of this one?
Tracking this one, when you pick any 1 liter of herbicides, it is 1,000 mils.
Oh, okay, so
1,000 mils.
how
So
many do you need
if
for
you
an
want to
acre?
let me give you the breakdown so that you understand well. So 1,000 mils. This one you can use 150 to 200 mils per 16 liters of machine.
Okay.
Yes, and every machine, if the weeds are not grown too much, when you spray 5 times of that machine, it can cover 1 acre.
Is it a NASAC?
Knapsack sprayer.
Okay, NASAC.
Knapsack sprayer.
Okay.
So this one
You need
can
how
use
many?
you
5?
need one. No, one. Even if the
I mean
herbs.
the NASAC prayer, you need how many on
Oh,
one
I'm
acre?
just giving you just a rough idea. You can use about 5. If you spray 5 of NASAP, it depends on the weeds. If the weeds are not grown too much, then 5 NASAP sprayer can cover 1 week.
Okay.
And as I said, the measurement, this one, when the weeds are very small like this, and in weed control, don't sit down for the weeds to grow to the level before you control. When the leaves get stem, it will be very difficult to control.
Okay.
So when the leaf gets 3-4 leaves, then you spray with the tracking. It will kill the leaves, the roots, and everything. So by the time that you harvest the maize for almost 3-4 months, you will not see any weeds under the maize.
Okay.
And the measurement is 100, and you can use, when the weeds are very young, it's 130 mils per NASA spray.
Oh, okay.
When the weeds grown a little, you can use 50 to 200 mils per NASA spray.
Sure.
So per calculation, 1 liter can spray 1 acre.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the size of the weeds. Yes, 1 liter can spray. If you measure 30 mils per NASA spray, it can spray 1.5 acres when the weeds are not grown. But on average, 1 liter can spray 1 acre.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this one, do you have some at the shop?
Yes, we have some at the shop.
All right. So how many times do you need to apply this herbicide?
The herbicides,
when it comes to maize plant farming?
Once.
Yes. So when you do it once, that's all.
If you get application well, once. Yes, because I always mention that weed control is very important, because weeds always compete with the maize. So it's not better for you to sit down for the weeds to grow before you spray.
Okay. So now when you come to the maize varieties, the local and then the hybrid, we have the Omankwa and we have the Lake and all those things. Yeah. Can we apply the same herbicide for it, or we have different herbicide for different varieties?
Now this is a very important question, because one of my subscribers called me on the same question.
Okay.
For the OPV, you can apply all these herbicides.
Okay.
Yes. When you come to hybrid too, for what I've known practically, hybrid like Palm 12 or Pana, when you are applying herbicides, you need to be a bit careful, because not that it will kill the maize, but for Pana or Palm 12 PC, you have to control the spraying. When I say we have to control the spraying, you see some farmers, because we are saying that it's a selective and it cannot kill the maize, they just spray on the maize. When you spray on the maize will not use the chemical for anything.
Okay.
It's for the weeds. That is why we said that we have to plant in lines, so that when you are spraying, you spray in between the maize. Although when the chemical falls on the maize, it will not die. Yeah. But don't intentionally spray on the maize. If you do that for Pana or Pan 12, the chemical will stress the maize before it will release it. Although it will not kill it, but it will stress it small.
And that can affect the quality.
Small. But when it release continue, it cannot affect.
Please, are you taking note? Make sure.
Apart from Pan 12, that personally I've experienced other things like LG, like Siku, like other hybrid, you can use the nicosopron. If you use nicosopron alone, that is what. But for the tracking, because it's the combination, either Pan 12, either any maize at all, when you spray, it will not stress the maize, and yes, and the control will be perfect. Sure. Yes. So that's That's how it is.
Okay.
And also for this OPV and hybrid, in terms of weed control, in terms of chemical control, there is no difference. They all pass the same test. Yeah. And also one thing about this selective weedicide, if you are spraying selective weedicide, we have procedures that you have to use.
Okay.
Yes.
What are they?
First one, it has been in the early in the morning. And it's better when it is raining, after rains, or when there's a dew on the leaves or on the herbs.
Okay.
So it has to be in the morning. Two, the spray
So
machine.
you can't do it in the afternoon.
It's not good.
Okay.
Yes. Two, the spray machine that you are going to use for the weed control, you must wash the spray machine with Omo before.
Washing powder. Why?
Why? Because some farmers use the same spray machine for the same work. So if you use the spray machine to use it for non-selective herbicides like glyphosate, and you didn't wash it well, and you use the same spray machine for selective of maize, because there will be some components of that in the machine, the first spray that you do can kill all the maize.
Okay. So you have to get a washing powder or a bleach.
Or you have to wash it. Let's do that way. You wash it properly, well
before
you use it for.
But ideally, if you have two different machines for different purposes, I think it's good.
If you have two different machines for, maybe you see selective alone, you cannot get machine for selective alone. If you finish, you just wash it.
No, this
when you finish for you want to go in pest control, also you wash it. It's very simple. So don't use machine that you have been used for glyphosate or non-selective weedicide immediately before you use the selective one.
Oh, okay.
That is two.
Okay.
And also when you are spraying this herbicide or selective herbicide, the nozzles of the machine, we have the nozzles, no?
Yeah.
We have some nozzle called shower nozzle.
Okay.
For the shower nozzle, it will like this. So it will control the spread of the chemicals to other areas. That one too is good. Okay. And also when you are spraying selective herbicides or weedicides for maize, take time. You see, at times when you go to where people are spraying, they just run like, listen, they are using speed. If you speed like that, there are some areas that you cannot cover. And also we have the method. If it's a 1 acre or 5 acres, you need to zone it. Or if you have 3 or 4 people, you need to zone it. Maybe when you spray up to half acre, then you 10. In such a way that at the end of the day, if the farm is almost 100 acres, 200 acres, even 50 acres, if you are not careful, by 2 weeks after spray, you see that there are some places that will be a portion of the weeds that the chemicals not get there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we must spray with caution.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And also, as usual, before you use herbicides, you also have to use the PPEs. That is the personal protective equipment.
Okay.
Yes. Because when you inhale the chemical too much, it can also affect you.
Okay. So that means you have to wear the
nose mask. Okay. We have the nose mask, goggle, and overall that for spray.
Do you have some too?
Yes, we have some in our shop. Okay. That one too is very important because it's a chemical. Even when it stick into your skin, it can be cause a skin breach. Infection. So it's better we protect ourselves before we apply this.
The skin is going to react to the chemicals.
Yes, we react to the chemicals. React to the maize.
Okay.
So that is the methods that you have to use when you are applying any herbicides or selective herbicides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and also some farmers add other products like insecticide or other things in the herbicides, and it's not good. When you are spraying herbicides, you see in herbicides, as I said, when you are spraying atrazine, you can add nicosopron. But apart from that, we have something on the herbicide. Anytime you pick it, you just read the instruction on the label. It's very, very important because some herbicides, they write compatibility. That means the chemicals that are be compatible.
Okay.
Yes.
So you cannot just mix anything with it.
Yes. Do you have some chemicals that are not compatible?
In fact, I've done some before.
Yes. With your own experience. So by the end of the day, you say that this chemical is not good. This herbicide is not good. But it's because of the way. Per your own knowledge, maybe you buy tracking. Tracking is not compatible with any chemical because it's 4 active ingredients. So don't say that I have tracking. Oh, then let me add this. At the end of the day, it will not work.
Oh, okay.
And also the last thing or the last part that I want to talk about herbicides application is any herbicides that you pick. The first thing is you have to read on the label. Not herbicide alone, even any chemical, the label. Okay. Because this one, as soon as you pick this one is a tricream. The company is ETG. The active ingredient is there. You can see atrazine plus nicosopron plus menstone. This menstone too is a active ingredient, and it case the difficult herbs. That is the menstone.
Okay.
Is added. Have you seen nicosopron is also added. So it has been written here. It helps to control annual broadleaves and other annual disciplinary grasses. You see, all the information is on the label, so it's better you also read on the label before you start. The dosage and everything is on the label. So weed control or herbicide application is very important in maize farm because the weed itself is a pest. Yes.
Okay, so like I said in the previous video, we have a land for coconut farming available, but it's limited. So you call me, then I'll take you through the process. I'll be leaving my contact on the screen and Mr. Boachi's contact on the screen. If you need him for any agriculture consultation, you call him and he'll be able to sort you out. You can also call me for the coconut land so that I'll take you through the process to acquire one for yourself. It's limited, so if you come early, you get some. If you don't come early, you might not get some. Yeah, I hope you find this video informative. Let me know which aspect of the video you enjoyed most, and if you have any question for us that you want us to address in the coming video, let us know that in the comment section. Like this video, share it with anybody that needs this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, to subscribe to support us, and make sure you watch all the ads on the video so that can also help us to grow. We'll see you in the next video. We had some people complaining of armyworm, pest and grass cutters in their maize farming, so in our next video we are going to address that so that you can be able to take an action on your farm as quickly as possible. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel so that you don't miss that video on this channel. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.